Welcome to today's episode of 90 Days Producer Challenge with Rigbass. Today I posted my first episode out there on YouTube, so that's pretty nice. Other than that, I'm just gonna follow a small short YouTube video today, and yeah, they call me Mr. Hairline now. Tomorrow I gotta wash properly, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I've got a DJ gig tomorrow as well. This is the setup. Some Philadelphia Wakey Snooze, small protein shake from Lidl. I really got tired of my own shakes, so I tried to mix it up a little bit, and of course some water. Okay, let's go.
I already have a template that I already loaded, but first we got to start with our strum. I kind of like that sound. It's from FM8 from Native Instruments.
Jeg lever for de lyse nætter, hvor mørket forsvinder.
So let me show you the chords that I'm going to play for this one. It's D minor, E minor, G major, and A minor.
Yeah, we're not gonna play anything at all, actually. But maybe we'll be able to use this. I'm not advanced enough to play something like that yet. Bros is out here talking about playing notes and I don't know. Shut the hell up. Yeah, that's horseshit. I'm not gonna be able to do that. So we're gonna go for this. There we go. I'm trying to find the BPM on this one. Jack shit.
So I play it like that just to give it a bounce. Simple as that. So as long as we have that on a loop, then we should be fine. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna just layer that strum with some chords. I'm gonna use the same FM8 and just put like an electric piano, just to give it that bottom end. So let's hear what the chords sound like.
I've just figured out that it says how to make a... Yeah. Look for yourself. Yes, yes. Very nice. Fuck off.
In this video, we're going to be creating an Afro House track from start to finish, inspired by artists like Mujo and Rigbass. Check this out. I'm Pierre Johnson, and I'm thrilled to be on the PML channel. I'm a music producer from Cape Town, South Africa, and you can grab the full Ableton project as a free download, but I do encourage you to produce along with me. Let's dive right in. Okay guys, so here we are in our DAW. I'm going to be starting this track with our kick drum, and I'm going to hopefully just find something cool that I think sounds good for the track that we're trying to create, and we'll be taking it from there. I've got some really cool Afro House samples from PML. Other than that, we'll only be using stock Ableton plugins and stock Ableton samples, so let's get into it. So I'm just going to go through some of these kicks right now and see if there's anything that I specifically like, and then find the perfect one and then just do some tuning from there. Okay, I really like this one. I'm just going to remove these MIDI channels over here. Okay, and now I'm just going to create 4-bar loop quickly. The BPM at the moment is currently 120. I think that that's kind of an ideal BPM a good place to start. I think at a later stage, if we do choose to change it, which I highly doubt, it's definitely important to make sure that your channels are warped, so that if you do choose at whichever stage of the production you'd like to slow it down or speed it up, you don't have any issues with things not being in time. But yeah, so let's get into this kick. Let's start programming it and take it from there. We've got a bit of a click over there, so I think we might have just overlapped. So I'm definitely just going to cut this a bit shorter so that we don't get any clicks when copying and pasting our kick over here. And just consolidating that quickly. Okay, there we go. Nice. And now I'm going to create this into a loop. Okay, that's sounding good. Let me just copy and paste that over so that we've got a nice spot to play with over here. Okay, so we can play it back nicely. So this kick has definitely got quite a nice tail, but I don't think I like the key too much. So I'm going to go in over here and mess around with the pitch a bit and see if I can find a key that I prefer. I think this is also probably a good time for me to get an EQ onto this channel so that I can kind of see where I'm at and then just start tweaking a little bit. I'm just going to turn this down a bit. Let's go to -6. Actually, let's go to -3. That should be fine. There we go. Okay. So another cool trick before I'm going to tune this kick, actually, I know I said I wanted to tune it, but I just realized there's something that I'd like to work on before that. So as you can see in this section over here, the audio section in Ableton, we've got many different options. We've got different warp options such as beats, tones, texture, repitch, complex, and complex pro. I usually use the beats warp option when I'm working with drums, depending on if it's a one shot or if I'm working with a loop. So in this course, you'll definitely see me playing around with this section quite a bit. It's quite a cool hack when it comes to working with, you know, your tail and how long your samples are, how short they are. Very similar to using the ADSR, so the attack, delay, sustain, and release of your samples. But I'll explain all of that to you right now as we use it. So I'll maybe just do quite an extreme example of it so that you can kind of hear what this preserve section does over here. So as you can see, if we go in here, it says we can either preserve the transients or we could kind of start messing around with these over here, which I don't usually do. I usually just leave this option on transients. And then I change this option over here from, because I think it's normally set up like that. I usually change it to this option so that it starts triggering from the right side of the sample. So that's what our kick sounds like right now. If I take this from 100 to 0, notice how it kind of shortens the kick quite a bit. This is kind of a really cool and fast way to kind of shape your kicks, your hats, and any other one shots. So we're going to mess around with this quickly to just kind of get a good sound of that kick. I do feel like it's a bit too thumpy, so I do want to tighten up that kick a bit. So I'm going to mess around with this section over here until I feel like, you know, it's kind of much closer to how I want that kick to sound and how I want that kick to kind of be shaped. I definitely like that. I think it just kind of takes a bit of that boominess off. So I'm gonna copy and paste this across now. Just going over that, a very cool shortcut maybe that's worth mentioning as well here is Command D, which is just duplicating whatever you are clicking on. So I'm kind of clicking on this over here now, and we're just going Command D, and it's kind of going over everywhere. So while I'm here, I am going to now tune the pitch of this kick so that I kind of get the sound to where I want it to be. Before I tune it, I think maybe I'll just do an extreme example, just so again you guys can kind of hear the result that we get when we're using the pitch knob. Obviously these...
The thing is, I don't do my fucking kicks like that. So, yeah.
Those are very two extreme options. So we can either get a really low and subby kind of kick, or we could also go really high depending if we're layering kicks or doing different types of techniques. But we're not going to be doing that here today. Today we're going to just be using this kick, and I definitely just want to find the right tone for it. So I'm going to mess around a bit and kind of see what resonates well with me over here. I definitely like the way that's sounding, so I think we're going to stick with that over there. Now I would probably jump into an EQ and get an EQ on here, so that I can see, number one, what key we are in. I think that's really important to identify from the beginning. And a cool trick that I learned from a fellow producer friend of mine, especially when it comes to tuning drums and tuning your kicks, is simply just taking an EQ, dropping it onto whichever sample it is that you would like to identify. Of course, over here, our samples from PML are labeled correctly, so we could also just say in our mind that, this kick is in G sharp, and we've pitched it down 3 semitones, so we would say, just look. At my keyboard over here, so we say if it's in G sharp and we pitch it down 3 semitones, we're going to 1, 2, 3, we're going to F. So to confirm that, just in case, and just for personal reference, so that we do know that we are in this key, we're going to put an EQ onto our kick, and then we're going to take a look at the EQ and just kind of see where our highest transient is and see what key that transient is. I've opened up the EQ now, and you can see in this corner as I drag my mouse across the EQ that it's telling me not only the frequency but also what different key is at these different frequencies. So let's play the kick and then just have a look and see what key we are in. So you can see that's definitely the highest transient over there. This one is definitely sticking out over here, so let's just take a look. 100% we definitely are in F with that. So the nice thing about identifying what key you're kind of working in at such an early stage, which we'll dive into kind of in the next part of the course, where we start working on our percussions and our grooves and things like that, is that we'll be able to create a sense of harmony within our drums. Okay, cool guys, so now that we have a nice solid kick, which like I said earlier,
This is
in this
bullshit.
video,
This is bullshit. Fuck this shit, guys. I really don't want to do this today. As you can see, all of my focus is on my head right now. I really just want to wash this off. It's irritating me so much and it's very itchy and shit. So tomorrow, once again, same time, same place. I have been opening up this program for 25 days in a row now, and I didn't expect myself to do this 25 days in a row. That's nearly 1/3 of the goal. With 90 days, I will go hard on myself after 1 month, and I will need to make some clear process there. I have made some processes, but I'm not yet satisfied. But I also had this project at the same time I needed to take care of. So tomorrow is the last day. of an itchy head. Really looking forward to that, so I can focus a little bit more. Thank you for watching along. See you in the next one. Bye bye.